For today, we're playing Horizon Forbidden West with the Steam Deck, and we'll start it off at 800p at the low preset, and no FSR. And here we are with that. There we go. So I'm starting a new game here, because in my first playthrough with the 3080, there were a few sections that were very intensive and made the FPS fall quite a bit. So I want to go through that again with the Steam Deck and see how it handles it. And yeah, so far in the intro, we are sitting in the 30s. It's not very stable, obviously. We have no FSR active. So it can fall down into the mid-20s here. And the game does lag quite a bit as well. Yeah, there we go. Look at that. Around 20 FPS here. Not great. But we're entirely GPU bound right here, as our GPU is pulling 10 watts and CPU is pulling only 2 watts. So using FSR should give us a decent FPS bump. And yeah, again right here, in the mid-20s and the high 20s. So obviously at native 800p, the game is not playable, it stutters, it lags, and the FPS falls quite a bit below 30 FPS. It's kind of expected. Let's pause it here though guys, enable FSR, and try again. And for FSR, we're using the Balanced preset. So far, the FPS is still in the low 30s and the high 20s, with stutters on top. It's not great, but I guess we'll see as we go. Okay, so right here we're sitting at 20 FPS at native 800p, and with FSR we're sitting in the mid-20s and the high 20s. So a decent FPS bump regardless. It's not a perfect 30 yet, but it does improve the performance quite a bit. So let's enable it again. And back here again. Okay, we gained 4 FPS pretty much. It's not amazing, but it's decent. But yeah, it's quite intensive so far, guys. It is... Oh, silent kill. It is not an easy game to run. It's a PS5 game that's also on PS4, I believe. But still, this is the PS5 version of the game. 40 FPS here finally. There we go. I'm looking at a wall, but you know, 40 FPS is still nice. I think at the next checkpoint, if the FPS does fall again below 30, I'm going to pause it and use Dynamic Res and target 30 FPS that way. Okay, now for the graphics, guys, it's decent. It looks fine on the small screen of the Steam Deck. But one thing you should do is disable motion blur, as it makes it look far, far worse than it actually is. Yeah, right here, the game is struggling quite a bit. Super laggy and very choppy all around. 30 FPS on average, but it does fall again below 30 at times. But there's a couple more scenes after this where it was far more intensive on a 3080, so we'll see how we go. Oh yeah, look at this, 25 FPS right here, consistent. Let's pause it here and go down here and enable Dynamic Res, and let's use 30 FPS as our target. Wow, still can't do it. Really? So using Dynamic Res with the current preset doesn't really help much. We gain like 2 FPS at most, or like 1 FPS really on average. So still below 30 FPS in this section. Not great. So I think I'm going to have to go back and turn the settings down to the lowest. Instead of low, play on the lowest. And now playing at the lowest preset, we are sitting at 30 FPS here. So again, from the mid-20s to now sitting in the low 30s. Way better. And for the graphics, it's not too bad still. So I think from here on out, I will go ahead and play with the lowest preset, and we'll see if this falls down below 30 as well. Hopefully not, but how can I get that? But we'll see as we go. Go up here. Let's make our way to the right. That was close, almost fell off. Jump across. Perfect. Like Uncharted. Stutter's loading. Ooh, look at that. 20 FPS as I'm going through here. The game is loading in the background. And the FPS falls quite a bit. Okay, let's break this open. Oh my god, that was laggy as well. 23 FPS there. I mean, it's not a major issue to be honest. It's just loading in, so if you're okay with that, the game is definitely playable. But if you must get a lock 30, then obviously so far, this Steam Deck can't do it. At least in the intro. Come on, turn around. Turn around. Please. Behind you. There we go. Okay, so far the game can hold a stable 30 for the most part, but it does stutter quite a bit at times. So let's pause it here, cap the FPS to 30, and try again. Now playing with a 30 FPS cap, let's see how we go. It's feeling not great so far to be honest. It's already stuttering quite a bit as I'm going through. Behind you. There we go, double kill. Let's keep going. Is there a third guy? Yeah, there is, but that's fine. I'm gonna leave him alone. Like right here, look at that. 20 FPS again. as I'm loading in. Alright, 30 FPS lock with no FSR, and we're using dynamic res at 30 FPS. Let's see how we go with this, but so far it's feeling a bit better. Not really, actually. Hey, buddy. As if you hit me. Die. There we go, done. Cool. Okay, yeah, so far it's been pretty good. It mainly has issues as I'm going into a new section. Then it lags for a little bit, like a second or two, and then goes back up to the FPS lock of 30. So yeah, not much more to show you guys. It has the same issue all around. It can hold a stable 30 for a good bit of it, but again, as you're going into new sections, or if there's a bunch of enemies on screen at once, the FPS is far less stable, and the game will stutter as well, so you keep that in mind. And yeah, that's pretty much it. Thanks for watching, hope you guys enjoyed, and I'll see you guys next time for the next video. See you guys there.